The silver research vessel hung motionless against the backdrop of stars, its smooth hull reflecting the distant light of Earth's sun. Inside, lead researcher Reed of the Galactic Federation stared at the holographic display with his large, gentle eyes. His long ears twitched nervously as he reviewed the data from their latest planetary scan. "Most unusual," he muttered, his hooves clicking softly as he paced the observation deck. "Computer, confirm these readings." The computer's soft voice filled the room. "Confirmed. Planet designation Sol 3 contains over 8 billion sentient beings. Environment classified as Death World. Extreme temperature variations, aggressive atmospheric events, high gravity, and dangerous levels of oxygen." Reed's assistant, Meadow, approached with another data tablet. Like all members of their species, she moved with the natural grace of creatures evolved from herd animals. "Lead researcher, you need to see this footage." The main screen lit up with images from the surface. The Federation team watched in silence as scenes from Earth played out before them. Humans running for sport. Humans lifting weights. Humans hunting with advanced weapons. Humans cooking meat over fire. "They're pursuit predators," Meadow whispered, her tail curling close to her body in instinctive fear. "Look at their eyes, forward-facing, like hunters, and they have those sharp white bones in their mouths." Reed nodded slowly. "Teeth, for tearing meat." He paused the footage on an image of a human family having dinner. "They even pass their hunting behaviors to their young. See how they use tools to cut their food. Their entire civilization is built around predatory practices." The observation team continued watching as scenes of human activity scrolled past. They saw warfare, sports competitions, and construction projects. Everything humans did spoke of a species that had evolved to chase, to fight, to conquer. "What's most concerning," Reed said, pulling up another data set, "is their technological progress. They've already achieved spaceflight. Look at these orbital installations. Primitive by our standards, but advancing rapidly." Meadow's ears folded back in worry. "Should we recommend quarantine? Most Death World species destroy themselves before reaching space. These ones, they've somehow turned their predatory nature into a civilization." Reed was about to respond when the ship's warning system activated. On the main screen, a small craft appeared, launching from Earth's surface. Its trajectory would bring it close to their observation position. "They've detected us," Meadow said, her voice trembling. "That craft is deliberately heading this way." Reed made a quick decision. "Send the first contact protocols to the Council. We need approval now. If we don't establish diplomatic relations, they'll eventually find us anyway. Better to approach them as friends than be hunted down later." The next few hours were tense as they waited for the Council's response. The human craft maintained its position at a respectful distance, making no aggressive moves. Finally, the Council's message arrived. "First contact approved," Reed read aloud. "We are to offer them protected status within the Federation. Standard procedure for primitive species from hostile environments." He paused, reading further. "The Council believes we can help guide them away from their violent tendencies." Meadow looked uncertain. "Do you think that's wise? They don't seem primitive to me. Just different. Dangerous." Reed activated the communication system. "Perhaps, but the Council knows best. They've helped many species transition into peaceful members of the Federation." He straightened his formal robe. "Prepare the translation matrix. Let's welcome Earth's predators into civilization." As the first message was sent to the waiting human ship, neither Reed nor Meadow could shake the feeling that they were about to change galactic history forever. They couldn't know that their attempt to civilize humanity would lead to one of the greatest cultural misunderstandings in Federation history. Earth, after all, produced predators, not prey. And predators rarely accept the role of being protected. The United Earth Defense Command Center buzzed with activity. Screens showed the alien vessel, elegant and pristine, as it descended through Earth's atmosphere under escort. General Mark stood at the window, his weathered face reflecting years of military service. Unlike the peaceful aliens above, His stance spoke of readiness, a predator's alertness. "They want to protect us," he said, reading the Alien Federation's message again. "Like we're some endangered species in a zoo." Next to him, Dr. Amy, Earth's leading xenobiologist, studied the preliminary scans of the alien visitors. Their biology is fascinating. No forward-facing eyes, heightened hearing, quick twitch muscles perfect for running away. Everything about them screams prey species. The alien ship landed with graceful precision on the designated pad. The gathered human leaders watched as the Federation representatives emerge. Reed and Meadow moved with elegant caution, their large eyes scanning constantly for threats. An instinct evolved over millions of years. The first meeting began in the specially prepared conference room. The humans had carefully removed anything that might seem threatening, though they kept their standard security protocols in place. General Mark noticed how the aliens flinched at every sudden movement. Reed spoke through their translation device. "We are pleased to offer Earth protected status within the Galactic Federation. Your species has survived remarkably well on such a dangerous world. Under our guidance, you can learn to live more peacefully." The human delegates exchanged looks. Dr. Amy leaned forward, trying to keep her movements slow and gentle. "We appreciate your offer, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. Earth isn't just surviving. We're thriving. We've already established colonies on Mars and Europa." The alien's ears twitched in surprise. Meadow consulted her data tablet with shaking hands. "But our scans showed only basic space flight capability." "Those were just the civilian installations," General Mark said. "We keep our military capabilities classified, as any sensible species would." The word military caused visible distress among the alien delegates. Reed's voice trembled slightly as he spoke. "Military? But surely you've evolved past the need for warfare. The Federation can protect you from any threats." Dr. Amy tried to explain. "We protect ourselves. It's not just about warfare. It's exploration, advancement, pushing boundaries. Humans don't wait to be hunted. We face challenges head-on." To demonstrate, she played a video showing human achievements: Olympic athletes breaking records, scientists in Antarctica, deep-sea explorers, and astronauts walking on Mars. To the humans, it was an inspiring display of courage and determination. To the aliens, it was terrifying. You deliberately put yourselves in danger." Meadow asked, horrified. "You choose to face harsh conditions, to compete physically." "Of course," General Mark replied. "It's who we are. We're not meant to be protected. We're meant to protect ourselves and others if needed." Reed's large eyes showed growing concern. "The Council must be informed of this. We may need to reconsider our approach." As the meeting continued, the cultural gap became more apparent. The aliens saw every human trait through the lens of prey species. The human habit of smiling was baring teeth. Their direct eye contact was aggression. Their physical fitness was preparation for violence. Later, after the aliens had returned to their ship to reconsider their diplomatic approach, Dr. Amy and General Mark stood in the observation room. "They're afraid of us," Amy said, watching the alien ship glowing in the evening light. Mark nodded. "They see predators everywhere they look. Can't blame them. It's in their DNA, just like hunting is in ours. But they need to understand something important." "What's that?" "Being a predator species doesn't make us evil. In fact, it's what will make us great allies, if they can see past their fear. After all, who better to protect the galaxy than a species that evolved to face challenges head-on?" As night fell over the conference center, both humans and aliens pondered the day's events. One side wondering how to deal with a civilization of predators, the other realizing that the galaxy was very different from what they had imagined. The misunderstanding was complete, but its consequences were just beginning to unfold. The Federation's research station orbiting Jupiter buzzed with nervous energy as lead scientist Gray presented his findings about humanity. The normally peaceful scientist's presentation had caused quite a stir among the Federation representatives. As you can see, Gray said, pointing to the holographic display of human history, they didn't just survive their world's predators. They became the dominant predators themselves. His hooves clicked anxiously on the floor as he changed the display. The assembled aliens watched in horror as scenes from human history played out. Prehistoric humans pursuing animals until they collapsed from exhaustion. Ancient armies clashing in formation. Modern soldiers training in harsh conditions. But that's not even the most disturbing part, Gray continued. Look at how they spend their free time. The display showed humans rock climbing, boxing, playing football, and racing vehicles. Each image made the alien audience more uncomfortable. They deliberately seek out danger, one observer whispered, for entertainment. In the back of the room, Federation Ambassador Reed watched with growing concern. After his disastrous first contact meeting on Earth, he had ordered this detailed study of human culture. What they found had shaken the Federation's understanding of civilized behavior. There's more, Gray said. Look at their entertainment media. He displayed scenes from action movies, competitive sports, and video games. They simulate hunting and combat for fun. Even their children play games of chase and competition. Ambassador Reed stepped forward. Have we found any peaceful human activities? Gray nodded. Yes, they create art, music, and literature. But even these often contain themes of conflict, challenge, and overcoming obstacles. They call their greatest works masterpieces, literally marking their territory through culture. On the other side of the solar system, aboard the human diplomatic vessel, Explorer, Dr. Amy was having a similar cultural discussion with General Mark. They reviewed footage of their Federation guests. Their entire society is built on avoiding conflict, Amy said, watching recordings of alien behavior. No competitive sports, no debate contests, not even arguments. They make decisions by quiet consensus. Mark leaned back in his chair. No wonder they're scared of us. We probably look like monsters to them. He picked up a report from his desk. Did you see their latest proposal? They want us to undergo peaceful behavior modification. Amy laughed. They want to train us not to be predators. Good luck with that. It's not just our history. It's in our eyes, our muscles, the way we think. We're persistence hunters who reach the stars. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent message. The Federation Council had made a decision about Earth's status. At the Federation station, Reed read the Council's declaration with dismay. They want to classify humans as potentially dangerous sentients, put warning beacons around their space, restrict their movement in Federation territory. Gray looked up from his research. Will they accept such limitations? Of course not. Reed sighed. Would you try to put a leash on a wolf? The situation came to a head at the next diplomatic meeting, held on the neutral ground of the lunar colony. The Federation representatives sat on one side, constantly watching the exits. The human delegation sat opposite, trying not to make sudden movements. These restrictions are unacceptable, General Mark stated firmly. We won't be caged in our own solar system. Reed's ears drooped. Please understand, our people are afraid. Your species hunts for sport, fights for entertainment, and explores dangerous places willingly. How can we trust such behaviors? Dr. Amy stepped in. You're looking at it wrong. Yes, we're predators. But predators don't just hunt. They protect their territory, their young, their allies. Give us a chance to prove we can be valuable friends. As the meeting continued, neither side fully understood the other. The Federation couldn't comprehend a species that chose danger over safety. The humans couldn't imagine living life in constant fear. But they would all soon learn an important lesson. In a dangerous galaxy, sometimes you need predators on your side. And that lesson would come sooner than anyone expected. Captain Blade of the Star Raiders stood on his bridge, looking at the small human colony on his view screen. The settlement on Mars glittered under its protective domes, looking vulnerable and rich. His crew, all from warrior species that had rejected Federation peace, grinned with their sharp teeth. These humans, Blade growled, the Federation treats them like scared prey animals. This will be an easy raid. He had read the Federation reports about the primitive, dangerous world species that needed protection. Such creatures would surely surrender quickly. How wrong he was. The first sign of trouble came when their scanning systems suddenly went dark. Then their ship's communications cut off. The pirates had expected panic, chaos, and frightened civilians. Instead, they got their first lesson about humanity's military capabilities. Multiple ships appearing from behind Phobos, his sensor officer shouted. They were hiding in the moon's sensor shadow. 3 Earth warships emerged, their dark hulls designed for stealth in space. They moved with precision that spoke of years of training and preparation. The pirates had expected to find prey. Instead, they had stumbled into a predator's hunting ground. In the lead Earth ship, Commander Jane watched the pirate vessel with cold calculation. All ships in position, she reported to Mars Defense Command. Pirates have entered the exclusion zone. Rules of engagement are clear. The pirates try to run. They learned another hard lesson about humans that day. Their ships were built for pursuit. Humanity had taken their ancient hunting strategies and applied them to space warfare. They're hurting us. Blade realized too late. The humans aren't just defending. They're hunting us. The Earth ships moved in perfect coordination, cutting off escape routes, forcing the pirates exactly where they wanted them. It was like watching wolves work together to bring down larger prey. In the Mars Defense Command Center, General Mark watched the operation with satisfaction. "Send word to the Federation observers," he ordered. "They might want to see how their protected species handles threats." The Federation representatives, watching from their safe observation post on Phobos, couldn't believe their eyes. The humans moved with coordinated aggression they had never seen in space combat. Most species fought defensively, trying to drive attackers away. Humans fought to win. "Remarkable," Reed whispered, his ears twitching as he watched. "They're using pack hunting tactics in space." The battle ended quickly. The pirate ship, trapped in Earth's carefully planned ambush, surrendered. As Commander Jane's crews secured the vessel, the pirates got their first close look at humans in combat gear. "Stand down and prepare for boarding." Jane's voice came through clear and confident. Her boarding team moved with practiced precision, their movements smooth and controlled. These weren't frightened prey animals. These were apex predators at work. Later, in the Mars Colony's detention center, Captain Blade sat across from General Mark. "The Federation," Blade said, still shaken. "They said your people were primitives who needed protection." Mark smiled, and Blade finally understood why other species found human smiles so terrifying. It was the expression of a predator. "The Federation sees what they expect to see," Mark said. "They think living on a death world made us victims. They don't understand that it made us strong." In the Federation observation post, Reed prepared his report to the Council. His hooves trembled as he recorded. "Today we witnessed humanity's true nature. They are not simple primitives to be protected. They are sophisticated predators with technology matching their natural hunting instincts. Most concerning is their efficiency. They didn't just defeat the pirates. They planned, coordinated, and executed a complex ambush using their entire solar system as a hunting ground." He paused, then added, "Perhaps we should reconsider our assumption that predator species cannot build advanced civilizations. The humans have not just survived their violent origins. They have turned those traits into advantages. And now they are here among the stars." As news of the battle spread across the galaxy, other species began to look at humans differently. The Federation's protected species had shown its teeth, and the galaxy would never be the same. The pirates' mistake had revealed an important truth. Earth didn't need protection. Earth's predators were perfectly capable of protecting themselves. And maybe, someday, protecting others too. Professor Ben stood in the Federation's Grand Archive, surrounded by holographic displays of different alien species. As Earth's xenoarchaeologist, he had been granted special access to study the Federation's historical records. What he found changed everything. "Dr. Amy, you need to see this," he called to his colleague. She walked over, careful not to startle the Federation librarians who still weren't used to humans' direct movements. "Look at the evolutionary paths of every Federation species," Ben said, pulling up charts. "The windrunners evolved from flying herd creatures. The tunnelers came from burrowing prey. The swimmers descended from schools of small fish." Amy's eyes widened as she understood. "They're all prey species," she whispered. "Every single one of them." In another part of the archive, Federation Chief Scientist Gray was making the same discovery from the opposite direction. He stared at human evolutionary data with growing amazement. Forward-facing eyes. He muttered, "Complex problem-solving skills. Endurance running. Tool used for hunting." His hooves clicked rapidly on the floor as he paced. They didn't just survive predators. They are predators. The revelation spread quickly through Federation scientific circles. Emergency meetings were called. Debates broke out. For the first time in known history, a predator species had reached the stars. In the main conference chamber, Ben presented his findings to a mixed audience of humans and Federation representatives. "It's quite simple," he explained, pointing to the evolutionary charts. "Most species developed intelligence as a survival trait, to hide better, to spot danger faster, to find safer places to live." He switched to human evolution. "But humans, we developed intelligence as a hunting trait, to track prey, to make weapons, to work together in hunting groups. Our intelligence wasn't about running away, it was about becoming better predators." The Federation scientists were stunned. One of them, a windrunner named Swift, spoke up. But how did you avoid destroying yourselves? Predator species usually fight until only one group remains." Dr. Amy stepped forward. "Because we learned to direct our predator instincts. We hunt diseases through medical research. We chase scientific discoveries. We pursue goals instead of prey." Gray added his own findings. "Their predator nature explains everything. Their space program, their military tactics, even their social structures. They don't form herds for protection. They form packs for hunting and mutual support." In the back of the room, General Mark watched with growing concern. Some Federation members were looking at the humans with even more fear than before. "Don't you see?" he said, standing up. "This makes us perfect allies. You evolved to sense danger and survive. We evolved to face danger and overcome it. Together, we're stronger than either of us alone." Reed, who had been quiet until now, suddenly understood. "Like the prehistoric humans who partnered with wolves," he said, "predator and prey working together." The debate lasted for days. Some Federation species wanted to cut all ties with Earth. Others saw the potential benefits of an alliance. The revelation had shaken the very foundation of their society. Finally, Chief Scientist Gray made a formal declaration. "For millions of years, intelligence in our galaxy evolved through fear. Species became smart to avoid being eaten. But on Earth, intelligence evolved through hunting. They became smart to become better hunters." He paused, looking at the assembled beings. "This isn't just about humans. This changes our understanding of how civilization can develop. Perhaps we need both types to create a truly great society." As the implications sank in, both humans and Federation members began to see each other differently. The prey species' caution and sensitivity to danger complemented the humans' courage and determination to face challenges. But before this new understanding could fully develop, alarms began blaring throughout Federation space. A hostile empire had been watching, and they had chosen this moment of uncertainty to strike. The galaxy was about to learn why having predators as allies might be exactly what they needed. Red warning lights flashed through the Federation Council chamber. The peaceful species that made up the Federation had never seen anything like this. The Swarm Empire, a hostile force from the Outer Rim, had launched a massive attack on Federation space. 3 Federation colonies have already fallen, Reed reported, his ears flat against his head in distress. Our defense ships are overwhelmed. We've never faced an enemy that attacks so directly. The Federation's defensive strategies had always focused on running away and hiding, but against the swarm, these tactics weren't working. In the emergency war room, Dr. Amy studied the swarm's attack patterns. "Look at this," she said to General Mark. "They're not predators or prey. They're like insects. They overwhelm through sheer numbers." Mark nodded grimly. "And the Federation species don't know how to handle that. They've never learned to stand and fight." He turned to the Federation Council members. "Let us help. This is exactly what humans are good at." The council was hesitant. Elder Swift spoke up. "Your ships are few compared to the swarm. What can Earth's predators do against such numbers?" Mark smiled. "You're thinking like prey, Elder. Let us show you how predators hunt." Within hours, Earth's fleet mobilized. But instead of rushing to defend Federation space, they did something unexpected. They began setting traps. Commander Jane, leading Earth's space forces, explained the strategy to the bewildered Federation leaders. "Predators don't fight swarms head-on. We break them up, divide them, hunt them down in smaller groups." The human fleet scattered Federation ships across key systems, appearing weak and vulnerable. The swarm, sensing easy victories, split their forces to attack multiple targets at once. "Now," Jane commanded, "show them how Earth fights." Human ships burst from hiding places behind moons, inside asteroid fields, and from the dark sides of planets. They didn't try to defend fixed positions like the Federation ships. Instead, they hunted actively, choosing their battles, striking weak points. "Remarkable," Gray observed from the command center. "They're using space itself as their hunting ground. Every asteroid field is an ambush point. Every gravity well is a trap." The swarm, used to overwhelming frightened defenders, found themselves being stalked. Human ships would appear suddenly, strike hard, and vanish before reinforcements could arrive. The hunters had become the hunted. In one key battle, Commander Jane's flagship led a swarm fleet into a prepared killing zone. As the enemy ships pursued what they thought was a retreating human vessel, they didn't notice they were being herded. "Just like the old days on the savannah," Jane said, watching the trap close. "Drive them where you want them to go." When the trap was sprung, Federation leaders watched in awe. Human ships attacked from multiple directions, using asteroids for cover, coordinating with perfect precision. It wasn't just fighting, it was hunting on a cosmic scale. The Federation species began to understand. Humans weren't just good at fighting, they were good at winning. Every human tactic came from thousands of generations of pursuit predator instincts. As the battle turned, Reed met with General Mark again. "We were wrong," Reed admitted. "We thought being peaceful meant being helpless. You've shown us there's another way." Mark nodded. "Protection doesn't always mean running away. Sometimes it means standing firm, fighting back. That's what predators do. We protect our territory, our allies, our pack." The tide of war shifted. The swarm, for the first time, faced an enemy that didn't run, an enemy that hunted them. Combined with the Federation's defensive capabilities and knowledge of space, humanity's aggressive tactics proved devastating. Federation ships learned to work with human ships, using their natural caution to spot dangers while the humans struck at them. Prey and predator instincts working together at last. As the last swarm ships retreated, the galaxy had changed. The Federation species looked at their human allies with new respect. They had learned that having predators on your side wasn't just useful, it was necessary. But the real changes were just beginning. The galaxy would never be the same, and the next chapter would reshape the very nature of galactic society. 1 year after the Swarm War, the Great Hall of the Federation Council looked very different. Human delegates sat among the Federation species, no longer separated by fear. The victory over the swarm had changed everything. General Mark stood at the speaking platform, looking at the mixed audience. Prey and predator species together, something that would have seemed impossible just a year ago. Today, we celebrate more than just victory, he said. We celebrate understanding. Humans didn't just fight for Earth. We fought to protect all Federation worlds. That's what predators do. We protect our own. Dr. Amy, now head of interspecies relations, watched from her seat as Federation members nodded in agreement. The same beings who once feared human aggression now understood its value. The galaxy is not a safe place, she added, taking her turn to speak. It needs both types of species, the caution and wisdom of prey species, combined with the courage and strength of predators. Together, we're better than we are apart. In the space around them, the changes were already visible. Federation ships now trained with human crews, learning to combine their natural caution with human hunting tactics. Human engineers worked with Federation scientists, combining technologies in new ways. Reed, now Federation ambassador to Earth, smiled as he watched young Federation cadets training alongside human instructors. They learned not just to run and hide, but when to stand and fight. Look how far we've come, he said to Chief Scientist Gray. A year ago, we thought humans needed our protection. Now they're teaching us how to protect ourselves. Gray nodded, his research tablets showing new studies of human Federation cooperation. Their predator instincts make them natural guardians. They don't just fight. They defend. They understand the difference between hunting and protecting. In Earth's training grounds, something equally remarkable was happening. Federation instructors taught human soldiers about caution, about reading environments for danger, about knowing when not to fight. Predator aggression tempered by prey wisdom. Commander Jane, watching a joint training exercise, turned to a Federation observer. Your people taught us something important too. Not every problem needs to be hunted down and defeated. Sometimes caution and patience are better weapons than strength. The changes spread beyond the military. Federation markets buzzed with human traders, bringing their drive and energy to peaceful commerce. Human doctors worked with Federation healers, combining their aggressive pursuit of cures with the Federation's cautious testing methods. Back in the council chamber, Elder Swift rose to make the official announcement. The council has created a new classification, he declared. Humanity will no longer be listed as potentially dangerous sentients. Instead, they are now classified as guardian species. The term spread quickly through the galaxy. Other species began to understand. Earth's predators weren't meant to be feared or caged. They were meant to be allies. Professor Ben, still studying in the Grand Archive, made one final note in his research. Earth produces predators, not prey. But that's not a curse. It's a gift. In a galaxy full of species that evolved to run from danger, we evolved to face it, to fight it, to overcome it, not just for ourselves, but for all those who can't. As the ceremony ended, General Mark and Reed walked together through the council halls. The human predator and the Federation prey species, now close friends. Do you still fear us? Mark asked quietly. Reed's ears twitched in amusement. We recognize your predator nature now, he answered, but we no longer fear it. Instead, we're thankful for it. The galaxy needs its guardians. Above them, through the clear dome of the council chamber, stars glittered. Somewhere out there, the swarm was still hiding, and other dangers lurked in the darkness between stars. But now, for the first time, the galaxy had protectors who knew how to hunt those dangers down. Earth had produced predators, not prey, and the galaxy was safer because of it. The end.